Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be giving you guys a cap space update for the Washington Commanders. Going to be going over how much cap space they have now, how much they're going to need to use on this draft class, and what they can do with that remaining cap space this offseason. If you guys are new, please subscribe. We're close to 13,000 subscribers, trying to get it by the end of the month. And hit that like button, notification bell as well, so you never miss a video. All right, so let's get started with this cap space update. Haven't done one in a while, and you know, things will change with the draft, with bringing in a whole new rookie class, especially this year where we have the number 2 overall pick, and it's gonna, we're gonna need more cap space than usual. We're gonna be more than fine, but do want to go over that, and then also talk about some possibilities of what they can do with that remaining cap space. Maybe they go after some more free agents. Maybe they make a trade for someone like Brandon Aiyuk or another player, maybe an offensive lineman, or maybe they try to re-sign one of their own, which I don't know who they would re-sign right now. There's not a lot of big names that, you know, they really need to hold down, but I mean, we'll see what happens. You guys can see here all the players that are signed, 51 plus. I don't know how many that is right there. I mean, we can count it later, but they probably got close to like 75, 80-ish guys on the roster right now. Or I guess 74. Yeah, 74 guys on the active roster. Cap space, they have $43,410,353 in cap space. If you look at that, that's number 2 in the NFL right now, behind the New England Patriots. And then, you know, we're way ahead, or the Commanders are way ahead of the Jaguars, 12 million ahead of them at the next, you know, spot. And dead money wise, the Commanders have $27 million in cap space, which probably say is, you know, they're in a decent spot. I mean, there's a lot of teams above them in that, and that's, if you don't know what that is, that's money that guy, or at least from what I can explain, or from what I understand, it's guys that aren't on the roster right now, but they're still counting towards the cap space. So for the Commanders, it's guys like Charles Leno, Nick Gates, you know, Logan Thomas. I'll show you guys in a second. But there's a lot of teams with more than the caps, or than the Commanders. Like the lowest team is like what? Chiefs have 5, Rams have like a lot. The good teams don't have a lot of dead money. If you really look at it, $4 million here, $6 million for the Chiefs. 6.5 for the Bengals. I guess the Eagles do have a lot, so it doesn't mean you're a bad team if you have a lot, but it's not a situation you want to be in. The 49ers, $9 million. So yeah, that's kind of it right there, how the Commanders compare to other teams, and you know, you can see their cap space for these next years as well. But obviously things are going to change a lot. But let's go back. We'll go back to the Commanders cap space here. So $43 million in cap space. The guys that are, you know, have dead money for the Commanders: Leno, Nick Gates, Curtis Samuel, I guess because of void deals, the void money, the way they, you know, structure the contract. Chase Roulier, Andrew Norwell, Logan Thomas, Danny Johnson, and Sam Howell. Sam Howell, I guess 180K, doesn't really matter. And the Danny Johnson doesn't matter too much either, but these right here add up to $27 million, and then I guess Shaka Toney's still on the, you know, he's still suspended. I thought it was just for 1 year, but I guess they have to take him off, or the league has to reinstate him or whatever. Maybe not completely sure how that works, but yeah, $43 million in cap space, and about $10 million will be needed for the, you know, rookies. About $10 million in cap space at least will be needed for the rookies. So instead of $43 million, they'll probably be around, let's say, $32 million. You know, maybe they're going to bring in some undrafted free agents and stuff like that. So let's say they're around $32 million just to keep it safe. And maybe they trade back, or trade back, and one of the picks, you know, from this year, it turns into a pick for next year. So maybe they don't sign as many guys as they were expected to, or at least, or draft as many guys as they're expected to. But we can say roughly they'll have around $32, $33 million in cap space after the draft, which is more than enough to sign some other guys if they want to bolster maybe, you know, the cornerback room. I think they need to add another guy there, whether that's in the draft or free agency, that position right now, it's Forbes, St. Juste, and I guess, you got Mike Davis, who, I mean, I don't know, he's all right, but like, I'm not feeling great about him. It's not a good group. It is not a good group at all, and I think that they need to bring in someone else, and a rookie, he could help, but I just don't think a rookie, especially a non-first round guy, probably going to be a second or third round guy that they bring in, is going to be able to make a huge difference right away. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll be a Tariq Woolen, but that's very rare to have a player come in and make that type of impact. So I do think they should, if they want to be competitive this year, I think they need to go ahead and sign a veteran corner that's still in the market. At this point, though, there's not a lot of good guys available, but that's what I would say. Also, though, you could say we got Forbes, got St. Juste, and then Quan Martin, who's probably going to be their slot guy. Let's play all these guys a lot. We're probably going to struggle, but let's see out of those guys who our young building pieces are at that position, if any. If any of these guys can be starting cornerbacks in this league, yeah, just that's another situation too. And they can put it, if one of those guys is struggling, they got Mike Davis in. That's an okay veteran guy. I still, though, would consider either drafting a guy early, like in the second or third round, or if you don't do that, sign a guy in free agency. I wish they would have done that instead of drafting a guy, because they do already have, again, Forbes going to be in his second year. He's a project. You got Quan Martin, second year, and was a second round pick. Showed some flashes, but also a little bit of a project. And then you got St. Juste, who's, at this point he's a vet, but he's still, youngish, fourth year in the league. So it's a lot of inexperience. So that's why I would have wished we would have signed a little bit of a higher tier free agent corner, so we wouldn't be as young, as we are right now at the cornerback position. But it is what it is. We're not, it would be great to win this year. It really would. I don't know if we will. We probably won't win a lot this year. It's a rebuild. It's all about rebuild or retool, whatever you want to call it. This year is all about the franchise quarterback, how they look. And, if they start doing well, then we can feel good about the future of this team. And then we can be a little bit more aggressive in free agency. And we weren't, super conservative in free agency. We signed so many guys, but a lot of them were low risk, possible high reward signings, which is what I like. You sign Bobby Wagner to a 1-year deal. You sign Dorrance Armstrong, who's a young guy, has some talent, to a 3-year deal. Tyler Biadasz, you sign him. Jeremy Chin, Frankie Louvu. Not any huge signings, but a lot of low-key signings for either 1 year for some veterans that have been good in the past, or some 3-year deals for guys that have potential to be studs. So I like what they did in free agency. But again, it's all about the franchise quarterback, and they have some cap space if they want to after the draft or before the draft to trade for. Maybe they want to trade for what's his name, Brandon Aiyuk. Maybe they do. Let's look at it right here with the 49ers, how much cap space that would be if they traded him. Right now, where is he? Brandon Aiyuk, cap number is $14 million for the year. And if they trade him pre-June 1st, then let's see, the dead money would be 0. They would save $14 million. So I guess the cap number for the Commanders would be around $14 million if they traded for him. But it's kind of irrelevant because they will probably have to make a new deal for him, extend him, give him all the money he wants, 20 plus, 23, $24 million a year. And yeah, that's going to be the situation there. So they have the cap space to do it, but the question is, do they want to do it right now when they have a lot of draft capital to potentially get that receiver? Maybe he's not going to be as good as Aiyuk, but he's going to be on a rookie deal, and you build through the draft. And that's what Adam Peters said. That's what his philosophy is. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.